Hey everybody, and welcome to the new episode of Q's and Dailies. And yes, it has been a while since I recorded one, but that's because I was busy on graduating. Yes, I have now graduated college, and well, we'll see where we go from here, you know? And I just also want to say, congrats to all of my CSULB pals. Congrats, we all did it. And yes, so, go Long Beach. But today, on this episode, we're talking about a little different kind of academia, so love this, but let's get more appropriate, shall we? That's more like it. That's right, ladies and germs. I posted this on Instagram a while back ago. You all voted. It's what you wanted. So today's Q's and Dailies episode will be on the beloved Jack Black film, School of Rock. Let's go! So this is without a doubt the film that introduced the world to the one and only movie star / rock and roller, Jack Black. Now, why did the world fall in love with him so much, and we still do today? Well, it's because in this film, he was really just given the chance to, can't even say act. This was the film where he was really given the chance to just be who he was. An energetic, dedicated enthusiast of rock and roll. So it could go without even saying that for many of us, around the time of this film, we were around our teenage, maybe preteen years, and really we gotta owe it to Jack Black, because it was really Jack Black who passed down his love of rock and roll to a new generation, and well, really, that pretty much is the whole premise of this film. A down-on-his-luck rocker, kicked out of his band, struggling to pay rent, then decides to hustle a little bit by using his friend's name so he could go out and make money as a substitute teacher, and from there he meets an incredible group of talented musician kids, and from there they go on to achieve just awesomeness. Dewey, or Mr. Schneebly as they knew him, introduced them to the world of rock, and really, he gave them just there's these moments in the film where he really gave some of those students a newfound sense of confidence, you know? Really, that's what teachers should really be doing. Yeah. Now me, I personally felt a connection, okay? Specifically when he really gave a lot of great inspiration to two students, in particular, Lawrence and Tamika. Lawrence, the keyboard player, thought that he wasn't cool enough to be in the band because nobody ever talks to him and all that stuff. But Jack Black gives him the confidence that when you're a kick-ass musician and you're playing in a rockin' band, you are the bee's knees. And then, so beautiful, with Tamika. She was a student with an incredible singing voice, but she was too afraid to go out and show it because she thought that she was too fat. Now, when it comes to music, screw the image on the outside, okay? Forget that. It's all about what you bring to our ears. And man, at the end, when she sang at the Battle of the Bands, she was filling every single person's ears in that room with nothing but pure joy. Beautiful, just beautiful moment. Again, now, being a kid, similar, nobody ever really wanted to talk to me, and as a child, I was definitely, around the 200 pounds section, overweight, I just really had a great connection with that film, because, I had those struggles and everything, and then music really did help me out. It's just dang it. Loved it so much. I could never get tired of watching it. Every single time I watch those scenes with those two kids, I feel it right there, Jack Black, brother. True leader of rock and roll. What it's really about. Thank you. And the climax of the film just really cements it all so perfectly, They're performing at the Battle of the Bands, and they are just rocking it. You see Lawrence being the kick-ass, cool keyboardist that Mr. Schneebly told him to be, and Tamika blows everyone away with that vocal section of hers. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, can never get tired of watching that film. Love it so much. Love it. Pure and utter rocking inspiration. That's what this film is. So good. So definitely a great inspirational film that really displays the power of rock and roll. Definitely. But now, as always, let's go ahead and talk about the music. So first, from a more like audio type perspective, I really dug how the instruments in the film sounded. The film really tried to make the instruments sound like they were coming from their intended sound sources. The best example that I could think of would definitely have to be Mr. Schneebly's like a little mini amp that he carries when he's like teaching around the class and all that stuff. I mean, believe me, I've played on those and they sound exactly like that, you know? I mean, nothing too high quality, but just something to give you a sound. I mean, they really went for accuracy, and I just thought it was so cool to hear that, you know? Hear that and then hear the actual band and stuff and all that stuff in the classroom. Great on the audio work, I thought. Really cool. Basically, really immersing you in the setting of the film. I love setting through the audio. Excelente. And now, the key musical aspects of the film that I really want to talk about would have to be the originals that come from two of the main characters, Mr. Schneebly, aka Dewey, and Zack. So first, I gotta start off with Mr. Schneebly, Dewey, which is his real name, his original Legend of the Rent. Now, if there's one thing about songs when it comes to writing them, the lyrics really just gotta tell your story, you know, tell the story of the artist, and boy, do these lyrics just tell it all. Dewey's song really is about, well, what's going on with his life, you know? But yet he presents it in a very, like, story-esque way, as if we're listening to a legend being told by a grand wise master around the campfire in, like, a cedar forest, you know? I mean, dang it, that scene, just Jack Black really puts you in some sort of, like, I don't know, what is it? An odd, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. It's amazing. Why is it so amazing? Because, of course, for a small little scene like this, where you just have to explain your song, Jack Black just puts it up to 11. And I just love seeing that he's explaining his song, how he wants it to be presented on stage, little dances, and really putting in some effort with his vocals, and just, you know, like, that is passion. That is just the real Jack Black. He's not even acting, he's just being himself, which in a way is the best type of, well, characters that you can have in a movie, in a story. So good. So now going from Mr. Schneebly, the teacher, we move on to the student. Perhaps this song in a way has the most character development, you could say, you know? Talking of course about Zack's song. So, Zack, the young, talented guitarist in this film, was just living your ordinary, average, wealthy kid type of life, you could say. Pretty much attending private school, following the rules, and listening to his strict parents, doing what he has to do in school with these mundane activities, and like blah blah blah, dressing in uniform, blah blah blah, all the boring stuff, you know what I mean? Then along comes Mr. Schneebly, and he teaches him what it means to stick it to the man and setting your own rules. I believe that's called rock and roll, right? Indeed it is. Now the song's lyrics really embody the journey Zack had learning in Mr. Schneebly's rock class. And it was such a good song that of course they were gonna use that to perform at the Battle of the Bands, and boy was it just an amazing performance. I can't tell you guys enough how much I just love that scene. I love this film. I never get tired of watching that. So good. Rock and roll forever! And even more reason for me to love it is, you know, the parents are in the audience there watching it. And I just love this scene even more when you have the inclusion of the parents in the audience. It all comes together just so well. They're in the audience there and they see these boring parents are seeing and listening to the incredible talent that their kids are displaying right there on this amazing show that they're putting on. And honestly, they probably never even thought that they were capable of putting on this type of spectacle. It was amazing. It just goes to show, you know, parents, please let your kids really dabble, explore, really take in the wonderful world of the arts. And who knows, if you allow them to do so and you allow them to build themselves up, well, you may just have the next big star right there in your house. You never know. So yeah, definitely love this scene. It's a great song written by a boy who was living an ordinary, average life. boring life if you want to say. And then Dewey comes in, the master. Zach learns a lot, and just guys, I just love this film so much. You could really take a lot from it, you know. So good. And so guys, that is it for us talking about the School of Rock on today's episode. A story, just a great story, where one man's fiery passion led to enriching the lives of these very fortunate kids from their, well, let's be honest, boring lives, you know. It just goes to show you, you know, inspiration, motivation, newfound passions, they could come from the most unlikely of places, you know. God dang it, I just love this film. And as usual, everybody, if you want to, let's talk about the film even more. So, you know, go ahead, comment down below. What do you love about School of Rock? Which song do you prefer more, Mr. Schneebly's or sax songs, you know? They're both good. What do you like better? You know, just all that stuff. Your favorite scenes, I want to know. So get down there, comment. Let's hang, you know. Let's stick to the man, you know. And also, is there another Jack Black film that you think we should talk about here on this series? Please comment that below, let me know. And also, I did post, funny thing to mention that, I did post this on Instagram where I wanted to do a Jack Black movie, so I put up a poll. It was either Tenacious D or School of Rock. And well, School of Rock won, so if you guys want to interact with me and like, you know, so many other musicians, now everyone's doing it, get on those socials, you know, I mean, follow, we'll follow back, you know, that's where this community of musicians and artists, everybody is just, you know, congregating and just creating so much more, you know. Let's go out there, let's create. But yes, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode, enjoyed talking about the film, and just how well, you know, our characters are represented in the original songs, all that stuff. Such a good film, great music, I love it so much. And as usual, everybody, let me know what you want to see next. Like, comment, share, subscribe, you know, all that spiel. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode of Q's and Dailies. And of course, once again, I graduated, and any CSUB homies who graduated 2021, 2020, congrats. Let's see what we make of this world, alright? Let's stick it to the man. Ooh. You know what I mean. Alright, everybody, so I'll see you in the next episode, and until then, you know, stay creative, you know, keep living hardcore, otherwise you're not hardcore, you know. Alright, guys. Later, everybody.